Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Moving the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squad's the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everyone doing today? It's football week, baby. We are here. It is time. Let's go. We're officially listen, we're watching Miami Dolphins football this week. That meaningful games. Super pumped, super stoked. I can't believe it's here. It seems like it was such a long wait, but we're back. We're back in the building. Miami Dolphins take on the Indianapolis Colts, obviously. Getting ready for them. We're gonna break down these rosters, and I think the Miami Dolphins clearly got the better roster here. I think we got the better quarterback. There's a few things about this Indianapolis team that worry me, but I think the Miami Dolphins should handle their business on Sunday, and we'll start out the season on the right foot. You know what I mean? And I think if this football team can get some momentum, that we should be all right. The beginning of the season is very crucial for us because it's the easiest part of our schedule. We got some tough games at the end of the schedule. So it's imperative that we start off strong. It's imperative. Super imperative. Let's see who's up in the building. Who's up in here? We got to find Miller and Elwood. Michael, what's up? Sean, what's up? Michael K, good morning, sir. Timothy, good morning. Glenn, good morning. CCRR, haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Have we cut to it yet? Not yet, my friend. Not yet. Big test for Miami's inside run game. Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is a really good back. Where would you rank Jonathan Taylor? Where would you rank Jonathan Taylor in the overall running backs in the NFL? I would say, I mean, I don't think Jonathan Taylor's necessarily a great receiving back, but he's he's one of the better rushing running backs. As far as running the rock goes, I would say he's probably a top 5 running back. I'd probably say he's a top 5. Sean says top 6 or 7. I mean, he's led the league in rushing before. I'm pretty sure he had over 1,400 yards last year on a Colts team that wasn't very good. You pretty much knew the Colts were running it, whether it was Anthony Richardson or Jonathan Taylor. But we'll take a look. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a test for this interior defensive line, our run stopping ability. And, I think that's one of the strengths of this team. I think this Cap, what's up? What's up? Listen, we got to find Miller and Elwood. I need them. We need Elwood and Miller. If anybody sees them, we're close, Cap. I think we'll be able to get it filled up, but I need to get Miller and Elwood. I emailed Miller. I don't know how any other way to get a hold of him, and I need Elwood. So if you see them on any other podcast, let them know to hit me up. Hopefully they stopped through this morning. But yeah, I think that's a strength of this team. I think we will be able to stop the run. And then it's all whether we can stop Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones just doesn't scare me. I think Daniel Jones is better than what he's gotten credit for. I think he's a capable quarterback. I don't think he's going to go out there and light you up. But I think Daniel Jones is better than what he got credit for with his time with the Giants. I don't think the Giants gave him very much talent to work with. They never gave him an offensive line. You give him one piece like a Saquon, you take away another piece. As soon as they got Neighbors, they traded away Saquon. Or let Saquon out the building. As soon as they got Saquon, they let Odell Beckham go. So they never really built that team and gave Daniel Jones a real opportunity to win. I think if you don't ask too much from Daniel Jones can definitely win you some football games. Now, I think the Colts are better at quarterback with Daniel Jones, but I think they're more dangerous with Anthony Richardson, if that makes sense. I think Anthony Richardson is super dangerous. I think his potential is off the charts. And you gotta worry about Anthony Richardson's athletic ability, his ability to get outside the pocket and make things happen. Daniel Jones can run the football too. He ain't no slouch, but he's no Anthony Richardson when it comes to athletic ability. Anthony Richardson can also throw the ball 80 yards in the air. So I'm glad we're playing Daniel Jones, but at the same time, I think Daniel Jones gives the Colts a better chance to beat us. CCRR says we should have signed Jones to replace Tua. Listen, come on, bro. Come on, stop it. Stop that. Stop it. And listen, this is a new year, this is week 1. We got to stop with that. We got what we got, and we got to rock with it. We got to rock with it. You know what I mean? Am I doing a fantasy show? We'll see, Timothy. I'm not sure. I can jump on while we do the draft, probably, yeah. I think Daniel Jones is less likely to make a mistake. I think we're going to have to play mistake-free football to beat the Colts. They're retiring Jim Irsay's name into the Ring of Honor. Emotions will be high for the Colts. So there's that we're going against. Xavier Howard. What's Xavier Howard going to look like? I think Xavier Howard's really dangerous. I don't think that we should challenge him. I think he's going to be motivated. He knows what our defensive back room looks like. And the fact that we didn't offer him a contract and he wanted to be in Miami, you know, I think Xavier Howard's going to be extremely motivated, and I would not challenge him. I would not challenge him. Colts have a revamped secondary, Timothy Washington says. You know what? I don't care how good a secondary is. I like our guys. I like the guys we have in the building. I don't care if it's a top-notch secondary. If Tua Tagovailoa has time to throw the football and we're able to run the football and keep the defense honest, I like our guys against anybody. I like Tyreek against any corner in the league. I like Waddle as our second option. I like Malik Washington. What are we going to get from Waller? Is he even going to play week 1? Is he even going to play? What are we going to get from Waller? Is Achane healthy? There's a lot of question marks with this football team. There's a lot of question marks. We got to see. X been out a year. I would go after him specifically if he's on Tyreek or Waddle one-on-one. I would just be careful, Glenn. I would be very careful. Obviously, Xavier can't keep up with Tyreek or Waddle if they're playing man. But I think X's knowledge of the game and in a zone scheme, I think Xavier can be dangerous. And we'll see how they're going to use him. Posse Man, are you happy that in 6 days you'll be able to talk about the actual game and not? Man, you have no idea. This is my first off season doing a podcast, and it's been rough. Trying to come up with a different topic, different subject matter to talk about on a daily basis. It's not always easy. X is better as zone. Absolutely, Glenn. Absolutely. Almost no team will play man versus Miami with Hill and Waddle. Yeah, I mean that's why I said that if they play man, we definitely have the advantage. You know what I mean? If we start out flat and finish the game flat, it will be a long season. Timothy, normally I would say that, typically teams are going to start out a little flat. It's the first game of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if this team starts out a little flat. Listen, Tyreek hasn't been practicing. Achane hasn't been practicing. If Waller plays, he hasn't been practicing. Austin Jackson hasn't been practicing. So I would expect them to come out a little flat on the offensive side of the football. I just would. Just because, they haven't had an opportunity to get in rhythm, get in sync. They would play man bump with two high safeties. Richard, they can only do that if we can't run the football. And that's where the running game comes into play, Richard. If we run the football, you can't play two high safeties. You got to creep them safeties up into the box to stop the run. That's why we've had so much trouble throwing the football down the field last year, is because we just weren't able to run the ball and keep teams honest. We weren't able to keep teams honest. And what else that, by not being able to run the ball and not having a very good offensive line that can block very long, corners were able to come up and put hands on our receivers and not really worry about the consequences of it, because there just wasn't enough time. You throw these guys off their route a little bit, the play's messed up. The play's finished because There's just not enough time. Tua don't have enough time in the pocket. And you don't have to worry about getting beat deep. You don't got to worry about Tua just launching it down the field to these guys because teams were playing 2 deep safeties. Now, if them safeties got to creep up to help stop the run, you can't risk bumping our receivers at the line, grabbing our receivers at the line, because if you miss them or don't get them good, you're going to see a lot of long touchdowns. Richard, yeah, I agree. It's a passing team. You know, we're far better at passing the football than we are running the football. But you got to be able to do both. We still got to be able to run the football. Timothy, to be honest, I worked all weekend. I didn't really catch a lot of college football. I'm not the biggest college football fan, to be honest. I break down positions and stuff because it's part of the podcast world, you know what I mean? But a lot of college football I don't rock with. Who caught your eye? What players caught your eye? I heard Arch Manning had a rough day. We'll see, Greg. We'll see. I really think we should have brought X in. I really think we should have added X. I really think we should have added X. Again, if you guys see Miller, or if anybody else want to get down on fantasy football, we're trying to do the draft today at 2. But I need to get a hold of Elwood and I need to get a hold of Miller. Elwood and Miller. Or we might have to push this draft back one more day. Richard says every year it's the same thing. Can we run the football when it matters most? Yards rushing can be misleading. Listen, I don't think you don't gotta be able to run for 150 yards a game, Richard, but you gotta make a defense worry about it. You gotta make a defense pay for it if they're dropping 2 high safeties. You know what I mean? There's gotta be the risk of getting hurt if you don't defend the run good. If there's no worry about the other team's rushing, you can just drop 8 people in the coverage, and then it makes almost impossible to throw the football. There's got to be some kind of rushing attack. There's got to be. Greg, I hope so too. Tua ran for 5 yards in the last 8 games. What more do you want? I'm not talking about Tua running the football. I'm talking about Achane. I'm talking about Ali Gordon. They need to be able to run the football effectively. Jalen Daniels, quarterback from Canis Jayhawks. He had a good game, Timothy. He had a good game. So let's take a look at the Indianapolis Colts'. Oh, geez. I guess I didn't add the final one. Hold on. All right, let's see. Oh, that's the Miami Dolphins. Indianapolis Colts depth chart. You got Daniel Jones starting at quarterback over Anthony Richardson. Like I said, I think Daniel Jones gives the Colts a better chance to win, but I'm thankful that he's starting because I think Anthony Richardson's more dangerous. I know that really doesn't make sense, but Anthony Richardson can do more damage. You know what I mean? I just feel like he can do more damage. Daniel Jones is gonna, I feel like he's gonna give you an efficient game, and I don't think he's gonna make the big mistake or to cost you the game. So if they can run the football with Jonathan Taylor, like I said, Jonathan Taylor, I'm pretty sure had over 1,400 yards last year. Let me check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Michael Pittman Jr., he's a decent wide receiver. Uh, again, the secondary. What's the secondary going to look like? We got a bunch of young guys out there. Are they going to be able to hold up? We're relying a lot on our pass rush. Josh Downs, wide receiver. Alec Pierce, wide receiver. They got some decent wide receivers. Michael Pittman's obviously the best of the three. Tyler Warren, the rookie. They're expecting big things out of him. Left tackle, Bahard Ryman. Left guard, Quentin Nelson, one of the best left guards in all of football. Center, Tanner Bartolonelli. Matt Congraves. They got an okay offensive line. They lost Fries in free agency, so I think that hurts them. But nobody on this offense overly scares me. Jonathan Taylor, like I said, one of the top 5 backs in football as far as running the football. I think that if we can slow him down, we're going to have a lot of success. No game breakers in their wide receiver room. Yeah, I mean, Michael Pittman can go up and get the football. He's not a real game breaker, though. Nobody that I'm seriously worried about on that offense. I think our defense, the way our front seven is stacked up, I expect a big game from them. I expect them to be able to put pressure on Daniel Jones. Hopefully, Daniel Jones makes a mistake. I don't see the Colts scoring over 17 points in this football game. I think our front seven is just going to dominate their offense. That's what I believe. Greg says, I think we're going to be physical enough to compete under Weaver's defense. He's done pretty well coaching and keeping these guys physical. There will be catches, but Miami will not give up the big plays a team will need to work down the field. I agree, Glenn. I agree. They don't have anyone that really worries me. Let me think on it, Timothy. I'll let you know by the end of the show. What's my hot take for the season? Again, offensively, they don't have anyone besides Jonathan Taylor that worries me. And I think we slow Jonathan Taylor down. Is the trading Jalen Phillips fake YouTube clickbait? The only way they're trading Jalen Phillips is if they're getting a corner, I think. If the price is right, they would absolutely ship Jalen Phillips out. So I can't say that it's clickbait. I can't say that it's clickbait. If they find someone willing to offer them the right price, I think they absolutely pull the trigger because they have no intention of re-signing Jalen Phillips next year. Dolphins need to make Colts one-dimensional by shutting down Colts run game. Make Daniel Jones beat us with his arm. Yeah, Raphael, if that happens, and I think we're going to be able to slow the run down. I think we are. I think we're gonna stop Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor has under 60 yards rushing. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I think they hold Jonathan Taylor under 60 yards. Again, I don't see the Colts scoring over 17 points. If I had to guess, I'd say the Colts score 13. But I'll get into my game predictions here later. But yeah, nobody on this offense worries me. Tyler Warren, listen, it's his first game. I think he's gonna be a star in this league, but not something that we got to worry about this week. Would you trade Phillips to Dallas for Diggs straight up? Yes. Yes. But I don't know if I want Diggs' contract. If you're talking about just this year, I think we need the corner more than we need Jalen Phillips. But as far as I don't want Diggs' contract. I don't even know what his contract looks like, but he's been injured the last couple of years. But before the injuries, he was one of the top corners, if not the top corner in football. Hot take: Patrick Paul will win the Protector of the Year award. Is that even a real award, Timothy? Is that even a real award? Let's take a look at the Miami Dolphins offense now. So Tua, I think clearly we got the better quarterback. Right? Let's go head to head. Clearly, I think we got the better quarterback. Running back, I'll give the edge to Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's proved it more than Achane has. I think Achane has the ability to be a 2,000-yard player. Total yards. But I'm going to give the edge to them at running back. Wide receiver, clearly, Michael Pittman's a good wide receiver. He's a very good wide receiver, but he's not on Tyreek Hill's level. And then Jalen Waddle's better than Downs. Malik Washington, I think, is in store for a big year. Tight end, I'm going to give it to Tyler Warren just because of the question marks surrounding Darren Waller. The question marks surrounding Darren Waller. I would call for a push because Tyler Warren is a rookie. But the fact that Darren Waller hasn't really been practicing and he's been here over a month and a half, it's worrisome. It's worrisome to me. So I'm going to give Indy the edge at tight end. Offensive line. To be honest, I like our offensive line. I really do. Quentin Nelson's one of the best left guards in all of football. We got a lot of young, unproven guys on our team. Daniel's coming back from season-ending injury last year. But I'm going to give us the edge at offensive line, too. So I think we get the edge at quarterback, wide receiver, and offensive line. Give them the edge at running back and tight end. I don't think that's enough to overcome us. I think we score more points than the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday. Let's take a look at the defenses. Oh, that's offense, defense. So left defensive end, Kyle Pitty, Grover Stewart, DeForest Buckner. He is a very good player. We're gonna have to move him out the way if we want to run the football. Latu, McGrain, Franklin, he's a tackling machine. They're gonna give us issues running the football. This is a real true test for this offensive line week 1. Going up against DeForest Buckner, a tackling machine in Zaire Franklin. And then they got some decent corners too. Charvarius Ward, Xavier Howard, they got him marked in as starter. Jalen Jones. And then safety, Nick Cross, Cam Bynum. Cam Bynum is a very good safety. But again, I'm going to give the Colts the edge at corner, right? I'm going to give the Colts the edge at corner. Let's take a look at our defense. I'm going to give us the pass rushers, Chop Robson, Matthew Judon, Jalen Phillips. I think we absolutely, Bradley Chubb, we are going to be able to get after the quarterback. I think we have the edge as far as pass rushers go. Defensive line, you got Zach Sealer, Kenneth Grant, Benito Jones is marked in as one of the starters. I see Kenneth Grant playing a lot more snaps than Benito does. I think we have the edge at linebacker, Jordan Brooks, Dodson, KJ Britt, Willie Gay Jr. I really like our depth there. I give them the edge at corner. I'll take the edge at safety. So I think we have the better defense. The Colts defense was ranked 30th in the league last year. 30th in the league, where we had a top 10 defense. And yeah, there's a lot of pieces that aren't, we don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore. Javon Holland's out the door. Minka's an upgrade over Javon Holland. Huge upgrade. Whether it's Ashton Davis or either one of those are an upgrade over Jordan Poyer. They got Rasul Douglas starting at left corner, Storm Duck starting at right. Jason Marshall Jr., the rookie out of Florida, starting at the nickel. But I like our defense more than I like our defense over the Colts defense. Sorry, I couldn't see the comments. My bad. Is it better now? Sorry about that, guys. How long was it doing it for? Listen, is there anybody else that wants to do fantasy? Because I mean, if Elwood don't show up, then I can replace him. Anybody else want to get down on this fantasy football? Doing a draft today at 2, hopefully. But what's your thoughts? What's your confidence level? Week 1, Indianapolis Colts. What's your confidence level? Do you feel like we have the better offense? I do. I think we have the better offense. I think we have the better defense. I'm really hoping that special teams doesn't bite us in the ass, though. I think that the Jason Sanders injury is absolutely humongous. You've seen it. You've seen teams around the league replacing kickers every other week because their kicker just can't make a field goal. And I think we've taken Jason Sanders for granted. Has Jason Sanders let us down, miss some field goals, that he should have made? Yeah, he has. But Jason Sanders has been a pretty good kicker for us. And I would hate to see the Miami Dolphins get costed a game that they should absolutely win over a botched field goal by a replacement kicker. I don't think this game is a one-score game, so I'm not overly worried about it this week. But I'm worried about it week 3. I'm worried about it week 3 in Buffalo. Thursday night football. A game where every point is gonna mean something. Does anybody else want to get down on this fantasy? It's going to be a real good time. Test your chops. See if you can beat Big C. Achan's going to practice today. That's promising. I just hope they're not rushing him back. I hope they're not rushing him back. Go for 2 and no field goals. I'm not seeing any more comments. Yeah, stop being scared. Who want to get down? Don't tell me you're scared of Big C. You can't beat me in fantasy. Elwood, there you are, brother. I need you to email me and get this money in so we can draft today. You said you was going to play, right? Why you checking? Elwood, you still gonna play fantasy with us? Elwood, you still gonna play fantasy with us? It tells you just draft. It's very simple. You said you was gonna play. I thought. Like it gives you the order of the players. You can have a manual draft for you. Like it gives you the order of the players. You can have a manual draft for you. Team captain's been announced. Tyreek is not one of them. I don't think that's a big surprise, right? You don't know how to do Cash App, Elwood? No, Raphael, I'm not. Um, what do you got, Elwood? Just a bank account? Help me out, guys. How can we do something? He says I'm old. I feel you, Elwood. I feel you. Captains are Tua, Brewer, Brooks, Ingalls, Zealer, and Chubb. I mean, you can't argue with that, right? You guys, listen, I won't have Elwood's money in hand, but you guys trust Elwood. So if I don't have a problem trusting Elwood. I don't think he would shit on us. But let's say Elwood didn't send his money in. That'd be a person that we didn't have the money for that player. So you guys cool with it? Because I can wait for him to send it. And we can have him draft. Elwood, you can just send cash. You don't have to put it in a card or something, and You're cool with it, Greg? Are you cool with it, Raphael? Timothy's cool with it. All right. All right, Elwood, email me and I'll send you my address. And I'll send you the link to the fantasy football. We're drafting today at 2. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get this fantasy down real quick. I want to hear your score predictions for Sunday's games. Let me see. Where's the fantasy? We're doing $50 buy-in. Third place gets their money back. Second place gets double, and first place gets the rest. We need one. Besides Miller, I haven't talked to Miller in days. If C Hopeful plays, that should be it. As long as Miller, we can get a hold of Miller. I gotta send Elwood this link. Elwood, you gotta download the app, okay? I gotta go back up and find his email. Oh, there it is. Email. Score predictions for the game Sunday. Compose 2. Wood. At Gmail. All right, I'm gonna send you the link right now. $34, 24-21 Dolphins over Colts. What did you say, Michael? Mr. Lombardo. 24-21 Colts, no trust in Mike McDaniel. Oh my God. Stop it, brother. Stop it. Well, we still need one then. Anything less than 50, see hopeful it's just not, you know what I mean? It's just not, you can't win anything. We need one more for fantasy, folks. One more for fantasy. 28-10 Fins, Greg says. See, fantasy, I like fantasy because it makes every other game more interesting for me. You know what I mean? Elwood, you should have that link. You should have that link now. The offense worried me, bro. Lino TV, 28-21 Colts. Y'all suck. Bad. Go Bills. Lino. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Good afternoon, sir. How you doing? How are you doing, Mr. Lino? Will you be at the Bills game? I see you be giving it the TD. I'm curious. Will you be at the Bills Dolphins game, Lino? Oh, we taking that Buffalo win. He gonna be sick. Lino gonna be sick. He gonna go disappearing that week. You from the Buffalo area, Lino? I'm from New York too. All my family's from up there in North Boston, Angola. Let's see if they can let me crash on a couch instead of paying $500-600 for a hotel. Bills lost starting defensive tackle for a year, rookie cornerback for 4 weeks. Yeah, I don't want to beat Buffalo because of injuries, though. I don't want to beat Buffalo because of injuries. Oh, you live in Pittsburgh now? Okay. Listen, I think the Miami Dolphins beat the Indianapolis Colts. I really do. If you think Daniel Jones is a better quarterback than Tua Tagovailoa, you're just a hater. Expectations are low for this football team, and I get it. Because there's a lot of question marks. There's question marks whether the Dolphins can stay, whether Tua can stay healthy. There's question marks about our new offensive line. There's question marks about our cornerbacks. So there's a lot of question marks on this football team. But I feel like this team has enough talent that if one thing's for sure, Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa have been able to beat the teams that are not elite. The Indianapolis Colts are not an elite team. So I believe the Miami Dolphins take care of business Sunday. I think they do it. I think they handle the Colts. I see this game 27-13. Dolphins 27-13. Lino says he was a backup DT. Lino, I'm the only thing the reason I'm worried about the Buffalo Bills is because they're so reliant on Josh Allen. And Josh Allen is one of the best corners in all our quarterbacks in all of football. He is. But I think besides Josh Allen, your team is very pedestrian. I think it's very pedestrian besides Josh Allen. James Cook's a decent running back. You got a couple decent receivers, a couple decent tight ends. Your offensive line's good. Your secondary isn't nothing to write home about. I hate Matt Milano. I mean, I guess he's a decent linebacker, but I think he's a cheap shot artist. I think he's definitely a bum. Now we have one spot left. Is there someone else that wanted it? So I think the Buffalo Bills are beatable. Yeah, they're favored every game this year. They are. And rightfully so. They got the MVP on their football team. Josh Allen is an amazing player. Oh, definitely. I mean, come on, CCRR. What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? I mean, obviously, you take Josh Allen all day, every day. So give him my email, Cap. You got it. And I'll put the Cash App across the screen. Oh. The Cash App's going across here. I'll change the lettering so you can see it better. And the Cash App's on the screen, Cap. Give it to him. They only signed him to the practice squad, though. Only signed him to the practice squad. There was something that I had that I wanted to read about Daniel Jones, which I thought was an interesting fact. Let me see. All right, right here. It says Jones signed with the Colts and beat out Anthony Richardson for the team's starting spot. The 2019 first round pick struggled with injuries, 0 full seasons, and ineffectiveness, career 6.5 yards per attempt during his 6 seasons with the Giants. After throwing 24 touchdowns in 13 games as a rookie, Jones totaled 45 touchdowns in 57 games following in 5 seasons. He finished 1 season better than 15th in fantasy. Says the 28-year-old isn't going to move the needle as a passer, but he could land. He has the ability to do things with his legs. 60 plus carries in 4 of the last 5 seasons, especially considering that early struggles could lead to benching in favor of Richardson. So, I mean, I think that's a crazy number that as a rookie, he was promising. 24 touchdowns in 13 games. In 57 games following that rookie year, he only had 45 passing touchdowns. 45 passing touchdowns in 57 games. If you think the Colts are going to beat the Miami Dolphins, I really think you're delusional. I really do. What up, Miss Fins? DMZ will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Make sure you're there on Miss Finn's channel. And then the following week, we'll be doing the DMZ on my channel. What up, Dad Dean? What's good? What's good? Welcome to the show, brother. Check your email. I sent you a link. I should. Yeah, but they beat us without Tua, brother. They beat us last year, but they beat us without Tua. I mean, Lino, I understand that Tua is an injury-prone quarterback. He absolutely is. And I like Tua. Do I think the Miami Dolphins need to replace Tua? I do, because you can't go into each and every season knowing that your quarterback probably isn't going to play a third of the games. But when Tua's on the field, Tua is pretty good. Now, if the Bills were to lose Josh Allen, they're probably not going to be very good neither. Absolutely. If you take Tua, and that's the case with most teams. That's the case with most teams. Right? That is the case with most teams. In CCRR, there are holes in Tua's game. But I think Tua takes too much of the criticism when a lot of our key losses that we have are team efforts. Now there have been certain games where it's been strictly on Tua. Last year in Buffalo, when Tua got concussed, that game was strictly on Tua. That game was on Tua. Houston last year, that game was on Tua. Green Bay the year before that game was on Tua. But there's a lot of games, Philadelphia game, that wasn't on Tua. The Kansas City game, that wasn't on Tua. I mean, the guy can throw it out. I mean, is it your favorite thing to do? No. But the guy can, I mean, how many of those fumbles did he lose? And he was coming back from injury. Yeah. Here, I'm going to put my email. Just email me real quick. We're trying to do the draft at 3. My Cash App's across the bottom of the screen. $50, $50 buy-in. Technically, we got one spot because Miller hasn't paid me shit and I can't get a hold of her. So we still got one spot. One spot. I don't know if can I kick Miller out of it though, because Miller got a team. I'd have to kick him out, but he hasn't paid me no money. I don't even know if he knows when the draft is, to be honest. All right, I don't know if I can kick him. Is there a way to boot players? Is there a way to boot players off fantasy? Manage league. Teams. Okay, hold on. So, Lino, send me an email to that thing, and I'll send you the link. Well, Dean, the draft said 2. And Lino, I just booted him, so I mean, if you're not gonna play, I mean, I gotta boot him anyway because I can't get a hold of him. I can't get a hold of him, so I gotta boot him. You guys sending me emails? All right. Yeah, the draft is today at 2:30. Or 2, not 2:32. My fault. Yes, y'all. I'm undecided. I don't know if I like to get my pick at the top of the draft or the bottom of the draft. What's your all preference? You rather have the first pick or the 8th pick? Raphael says the first pick. I think it does it randomly because we're doing it online, Greg. Typically, I do it out of a hat, but I think because we're doing it online, 12th pick is the worst. Yeah. I mean, Sixth pick is the best. Well, I feel like there's usually four really elite players, right? I feel like there's usually four really elite players in fantasy that if you don't get one of those first four picks, you might as well, you know what I mean? See you later, Michael. Uh, oh shit. Link is set. Lino. Dean, are you sending the email or no? And I got you on the Cash App too, brother. Lino. Welcome, Lino. He paid in full. Now we get the smash. I get the some days my mic doesn't do it at all, and now it's the Cash App's across the bottom of the screen. Fin Fan for Life 1. This mic thing, sometimes it doesn't do it ever at all, and then sometimes it does it over and over again. Drives me absolutely nuts. Hopefully when I go up week 3, I can have Richie and TD take a look at it, and maybe they can tell me what the problem is. But yeah, we got a Bills fan in the fantasy. We got Mike Jones, who's a Giants fan. Dean, what's your team? You a Dolphins fan? Elwood, you got it all set up, brother? I sent you a link in your email. You got to create your team. There's a fantasy football link in your email. Are you allowing auto pinks? I think you should disable if you can, laugh out loud. As soon as Dean gets down, you got to finish creating it, Elwood. Did you click on the link and stuff? All right, Elwood, you're in. I see you. Lino's in. We just need the one more. Dean, are you in? Yeah, I see you, Elwood. So now you just got to draft at 2:00. You can do mock drafts and stuff that help you learn. Cap, we need Dean if he's doing it. I took Miller out because I can't get a hold of Miller. I feel bad, but Elwood, I'm gonna send you my address, and you can just mail the $50. Okay, I got Dean reply. All right. Invite friends. Gmail. Casmic. Huh. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get this taken care of. All right, I sent it to you, Dean. And just need your Cash App money too. All right, Elwood, I'm going to send you my address too. All right, folks. Yeah, we'll talk more about the Colts and the Dolphins as the week goes on. Injuries. We'll just break down more games, and we'll talk about other games around the league. We'll talk about expectations for this season. We'll talk about key players for the season and for this game. And, we'll just break down these Miami Dolphins. Super excited that the football is back. I love this time of year, and I can't wait to spend the season with all of you. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment, turn your notifications on. Make sure you check out Game Changers tonight. Me and Mike Jones will be live talking about the games around the NFL, doing predictions, doing all types of stuff, having a good time over there. That's tonight, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. The link is in the link for Game Changers, and you can only see it on Game Changers. It's not going to be on Fin Posse tonight. It's only going to be on Game Changers. But look in the description of this video right here, the @Game Changers channel, because people are having trouble finding it. Miss Fin said she was having trouble finding it. Go on there and come join us tonight, 7 p.m. for an episode of Game Changers Laces Out Live. Me and Mike Jones, we have a ball over there. But I will see you all later. And to you guys in the fantasy league, y'all gonna get this. Y'all gonna get this work today at 2. Today at 2. Y'all about to get this work. Yeah, FinFan for Life 1, Dean. Y'all about to get this work in fantasy. So I'll see y'all later at 2. And you know what it is. Fins up for life. Peace.
Big C and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gritter, roaring gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no-look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to